What's up YouTube? Boyle here for Heroes of Fandom with another product review. Today we're going to be looking at the Rampage Arcade 1-Up cabinet, which as you can see from the framing, it's a little on the low side, so we're going to have to readjust the camera soon. But that just goes to show how small these machines are and what you can expect out of them. So I'm 6'2", and as you can see with my hands, my hand placement is pretty comfortable. You can see that it's narrow, so you won't be able to play with 3 people sitting side by side, but for that you'd have to get the risers. It's Rampage. Like, this game has been available on multiple systems, and if you want to play Rampage with friends, there are much more convenient ways of playing Rampage with friends. It also includes Gauntlet, the 2-player version. Joust is like the only game that's like really perfect for this cabinet. But again, these are all games that have been available for like the longest time on multiple consoles and they offer, more comfortable ways of playing with 3 players. This thing is a novelty item. The games feel like they're supposed to. You can play, as all the characters, if you can somehow manage to fit everyone. So if you're a fan of Rampage, which I am, this is, what you've always wanted as a kid. All right, so with Gauntlet, I do have a bit more problems. One, there's a glitch that's supposedly up to like level 31, the game will just mess up. The other problem is that when Gauntlet was first released, they made a 2-player version and a 4-player version. And for this one, instead of just giving you a 4-player version that only lets you play with 3 people, you can only play with 2 people. Like, I'd rather play Gauntlet with 3 players instead of feeling like, I wouldn't have cared that you can't play with a 4th player. The other problem is that there's sound issues. Like when you're playing with like 2 players, the audio starts to like mess up and crackle. If you're a fan of Gauntlet, you're gonna be pretty disappointed, getting this cabinet, because it's not. Playing with 3 players is so much better than playing with 2. Like, just in general, I would have been perfectly fine if you couldn't play as the 4th player, but I guess they wanted to go with, as close to the arcade original as possible. Now, on that note, because we're going to jump straight to Defender, for some reason, they messed up the control panel badly. Now, with all the buttons that are available on this thing, they could have easily replicated the arcade original. Like, what I have to do is I have to hold the stick with my fingers and the thrust is with my thumb, as opposed to like being able to thrust with this one and move up and down. Instead you have to like press down. So you press and you go, and then you gotta kind of like a steering wheel, like press up and down, and you can shoot. Then you can get used to it, and if you get a rhythm of it going, and then the reverse button is like you kind of have to like move your hand down. It's a hard game, so it's like it's hard to get used to, and like they could have easily put the other buttons on this side. I don't know how they messed up. Like, it's just, they messed up. There's no way they could have, purposely designed it this way. This is bad. Like, and here I am I'm doing decent. Like, I'm pulling it up and down like a lever. Like, you can get used to it. It's just unfortunate that it was such a wasted opportunity. So we're gonna get to the last one, Joust. You pop them on the head and then you collect their eggs before they can come back. It's simple, it's basic, and with 2 players it works fine because it's like you can both stand on opposite ends of the side of the cabinet. So, if you're a fan of Joust, yeah, the 2 games that you really can't go wrong on with the arcade cabinet is Joust and Rampage. So yeah, this is a Heroes of Fandom product review for the Arcade 1-Up Rampage arcade machine. That's small and that's perfect. Like, I could never fit a real arcade machine in my room, and they cost up to like $1,000 for maybe a main cabinet, depending on who you're buying it from. For 300 bucks, the novelty of being able to have an arcade machine in your room, because it looks and it feels the part. Like, sure, Defender has issues, Gauntlet has issues. Hopefully Arcade 1-Up will address them. The Defender one isn't a deal breaker for me because I got this for Rampage. And again, Rampage isn't a game that you can just set a score. You can just play forever and just keep continuing. So for me, getting it was more just to, satisfy that childhood itch of like, oh, when I'm older, I want to have an arcade machine. And if they ever release Donkey Kong, of course I'd get that one. If you think you're going to be surprised with what you're going to get, you're not. Like, what you see is what you get. Old, outdated, 4 games, 2 games, like the Space Invaders that's coming out, that's just gonna be what, 2 games? But if you love Space Invaders, if you love the idea of like the classic Space Invaders in your living room, you can't go wrong. I'm Boyle for Heroes of Fandom, and thank you for watching another product review. We'll be, looking at more stuff, so be sure to subscribe, like, and share this video with someone who, isn't, maybe they've talked about it, and who knows, like, this isn't meant to be like, they didn't send me this cabinet, early. Like, this is just, friend to friend, gamer to gamer, my opinion, my advice, take it or leave it. I don't care. I don't care. You can do whatever you want. You're a grown-ass man. You can spend the money however you want. You can take a dump on these. You can buy them and poop on them if you want to. It's your money. It's your money. You worked for it. I worked for it, and I decided to drop some cash on this thing. Could have invested in stocks. I could have gambled with it. People gamble. That's a very adult thing to do. Not wasting it on video games that I'm barely gonna play. Who's gonna play Rampage, huh? Who's gonna play Rampage?